I grew up in eastern Kentucky, deep in the Appalachian Mountains. My family has lived here for generations, and with that history comes stories, legends, warnings, superstitions. Don't whistle at night. Don't answer if you hear your name in the woods. Never follow the lights. Growing up, I thought these were just old wives' tales to keep kids from wandering off. I don't think that anymore, E. This happened when I was 17, during the summer between junior and senior year. I was dating Emma, who'd moved from Ohio about a year earlier. Her family had bought an old farmhouse on the outskirts of town. Emma was beautiful, smart, and fearless. She wasn't afraid of the things she should have been one night in late July. We decided to go camping in the woods behind her property. Her parents were out of town, and we wanted privacy. I knew those woods from hunting with my uncle. They stretched back for miles, connecting to the larger forest covering the mountainside. We set up our tent just before sunset, half a mile from her house. We made a fire, roasted hot dogs, told stories, typical camping stuff. Emma was laughing and joking. I remember thinking it was the perfect night. As darkness fell, the woods came alive with normal forest sounds, crickets, owls, rustling animals. But around midnight, something changed. The sounds stopped, just stopped, all at once, like someone flipped a switch. The silence was so sudden and complete that we both noticed immediately. "That's weird," Emma said nervously. "Why'd everything get so quiet?" I had no answer. In all my years in these woods, I'd never experienced that. There's always sound in the forest. But right then, there was nothing. Just an oppressive, unnatural silence pressing down on us. Then we heard it. A whistle. Long, low, and melodic, coming from deeper in the woods. It sounded almost like a bird call, but wrong somehow. Too deliberate, too musical. Probably just an owl, I said, but I didn't believe it. The whistle came again, closer. Same pattern, same melody. Emma grabbed my arm. The whistle repeated a third time, now just beyond our firelight. That's when I remembered my grandmother's warning. If you hear whistling in the mountains at night, you get yourself inside. Don't investigate, don't call out. Just get inside and lock the doors. "We need to go," I said, pulling Emma to her feet. "Right now." That's when the whistle changed. Instead of one direction, it came from multiple directions at once. Behind us, left, right, the same melody, overlapping, creating a horrible discordant harmony that made my skin crawl. We abandoned our gear and started running toward Emma's house. I kept my flashlight pointed at the ground, navigating through trees without tripping. Behind us, the whistling followed, always at the edge of our hearing, just out of sight. Then, Emma screamed. I spun around and saw her frozen, staring at something in the trees. I followed her gaze and felt my blood turn to ice. Someone was standing in the woods, maybe 30 yards away, barely visible in my flashlight beam. Tall, impossibly tall, at least 7 or 8 feet. Its body was too thin, too elongated, like someone had stretched a human being out. And it was whistling. "Run!" I grabbed Emma's hand. "Run!" We crashed through the woods, branches whipping our faces, roots trying to trip us. The whistling followed, sometimes far away, sometimes right behind us. I didn't dare look back. I just kept running, praying we were heading the right direction. I don't know how long we ran. It felt like hours, but was probably 10 or 15 minutes. Finally, we burst into Emma's backyard. We ran to the house, fumbled with the door, and fell inside. I slammed it behind us and locked it, then checked every window and door. Emma was sobbing on the kitchen floor. I sat beside her, trying to comfort her, trying to calm my own racing heart. We sat there for 20 minutes, just breathing, trying to process what happened. Then we heard it again. The whistle. Right outside the kitchen window. I stood slowly and looked out. Nothing there, just the backyard and dark tree line. But the whistle came again, and I saw movement in the shadows. That tall, thin figure standing at the wood's edge, barely visible in the porch light. It whistled once more, then turned and walked back into the forest. It didn't walk like a human. Its movements were too fluid, too graceful, like gliding. As it disappeared, I heard other whistles answering from deeper in the mountains. We spent the rest of the night in the living room, with every light on. When morning came, I checked the yard. No footprints, no signs of anything. But when I went back to our campsite, everything was gone. Tent, sleeping bags, food, all of it. The only thing left was the fire pit, surrounded by dozens of small stone cairns arranged in a perfect circle. Emma's family moved away a month later. She said her dad got a job offer, but I know the real reason. We tried keeping in touch, but eventually stopped talking. Some experiences are too big to build a relationship around. I still live in these mountains. I probably always will. It's home, despite everything. But I follow the old rules now. I don't whistle at night. I don't go into the woods after dark. And when I hear whistling from the mountains, I go inside and lock my doors. My grandmother was right. There are things in these mountains, old things that don't like being disturbed, things that have been here longer than us, longer than our towns, longer than our stories. Sometimes, if you're unlucky, they'll remind you these mountains belong to them, not us. I never told anyone the full story. Emma and I made a pact to keep it to ourselves. But every now and then, I'll hear someone mention strange whistling in the woods, and I'll see that same look of fear in their eyes. And I know they've encountered it too. The locals have different names for it. The whistler, the tall one, the mountain caller. The older folks talk about them in hushed voices, sharing warnings disguised as folklore. And the smart ones listen. I'm one of them now. On quiet nights, I can still hear that whistle echoing through the valleys. That same melody, that same pattern. But I don't answer. I never will.